This crazed stare told you that you weren't going to make it out of here alive. When have I ever with you, Dice? Oh no, oh dear, oh no. The boys. I've come back to visit the boys and they really don't look too good. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Espoir David, and today I want to go back. I want to go back into the simulation. I want to see the Loveless Biker Boys again, but it looks like they're not doing too good. Padar, what have you done? What have you done to the boys? Or what have they done to themselves? By your own will, you appeared here again, in the void. Yep, I'm here again. You scared me off the last time, but I came back. I wanted to come back. You can't scare me that much. And you are instantly blinded by a bright light. You see a strange white space that is filled with red twitching scribbles, as if you were in a room without doors and windows, looking at the changing walls with drawings on them. You can't move or turn your head, so that's all you see. And again, he appeared here. Padar! Padar! You recognized him purely from his silhouette that slowly started getting closer to you. This red-eye headlight, these red wires. He's twitching harder than the scribbles on the wall, which is why you have ripples in your eyes. Is it really him? Why does he look so strange? No sooner had you asked a couple of other questions in your head that he started talking. You are Padar, right? Hey, player. Hello. I'm sorry that you have to see us like this. We didn't have time to prepare for our meeting with you, so I had to quickly generate a copy of myself to see you and give you a message. Oh, okay. We can't see you in person, and it upsets us. Probably you too. We won't spend a lot of time explaining. We discovered for ourselves that while we are working on a new simulation, our old one was transformed. We forgot about our own simulation, and without our control, it began to behave strangely. More precisely, it works the same way. You won't really die in it. We hope so, at least. If you've been in it before, you understand what we are talking about. And if you haven't been in it, what are you doing here then? Oh, I've been it. I've been through it. I've been through the eggplants. I've been through the worms. I've been through Varai. I've been through the rapiers. I've been through it. I'm ready for anything. I'm not ready for anything. We're not going to tell you everything that happened there. Go and see. I've seen it. I've seen it. So, what are we talking about? About the simulation. I'll tell you a secret, just like my human friend. We must be friends, right? You and I have spent so much time together, so we already consider you a friend. Here's our unmentionable secret. This will help you understand what you will see. The fact is that the bikers you saw earlier are clones of the original ones. Oh, okay. Okay, so the boys are most likely okay. We mean that we clone them and put them in a space copying their reality, their environment. They don't even know about it. What they did to you could happen in reality if you were in their world. What? Their appearance and behavior have changed a little. No kidding. The code just works by itself. That's why they're wild. You understand what we are talking about. Slightly? It's like I've tamed them by cloning them. But by abandoning them, they've gotten out of control. I acted just like a human being. But we like this experience. Just look at what they've become. They've become the worst version of themselves. Oh dear. But it seems to have worked, only for Jeff's benefit. What have you done to Jeff? He doesn't see the whole nightmare that is happening around them. He became an ordinary person, ordinary for his world. He probably knows something that he is not supposed to know. Find out for us.
Oh, so now I'm working for you. Okay.
You'll see it all for yourself. The rest of the bikers were much less lucky. If you can stand everything that happens here, then in the end, we will thank you again with a small surprise. But this time, it will be a little more difficult to get it.
Aw.
But we believe in you. You can do it. You will do it. That's all, dear player. Before we leave, let us know your name again. I'm sorry we forgot it, but you probably told us several times during our first meeting.
What name will you choose for yourself? I am still Espoir.
Great, Espoir. Now you're not nameless anymore. Thank you, dear. Have fun. Before you go, one more thing. You'll remember what you saw in the last simulation, but you won't remember us. See you later, our dear, our sweet Espoir.
The scribbles dissolved, and you let out a sigh of relief. It's now dark again. Beep! Oh no, Dice! Rise and shine, a-hole! Dice takes off a pink glove and hits you in the face with it. Off to a great start, Dice! It's rude to lose consciousness like that when someone is talking to you. You hear Dice's familiar, always annoyed voice from afar. Wake up, sunshine. And someone else who also sounds like Dice, but he sounds like more joyful. It's like he stopped being angry for a moment. Oh. This moment was short-lived. You hear him again, with an aggressive tone, ordering you to wake up. You can't believe you woke up like this again. Just like last time, the boss appeared in front of you, furious that you passed out. You barely opened your eyes, rubbed them with your hands, and looked around. Ooh. Oh, hello. Dice! I love your hair. It's very nice. The environment around him remained almost the same, only painted blood red, or even maroon, the color of rotten blood. The ground under your feet is red, the sky, even the buildings around. Everything wasn't just red, it was somehow wet and shiny too. It's like there's been a rain of blood everywhere. Your eyes hurt to perceive all this, but you'll have to get used to it. Surprisingly, I am awake. Dice ignored you, even though he tried very hard to wake you up before. Your cheeks hurt from his gloves hit. Oh, okay. Hey, could you not use my glove? I don't want to beat anyone up for no reason. I just hate hitting newbies with my glove. Let your nasty pink stuff come into contact with that face. Also, for no reason? Why do you hate pink so much, Dicey? Wait, who's... This jerk passed out when I was saying something important. I was saying important things. I need a racer, a pathetic meatbag that I can spend my time on so I can have something really worthwhile to use. Ha! We need something to eat when there are no animal carcasses and no living souls nearby. Espoir is very confused. You decided to pretend that you didn't hear the last two lines. You know about eating me? Dice must be just joking or trying to intimidate you. Huh. I'd rather pass out too than stay with you. You're such a bore. Dice hit himself with a glove on his pink side and then put it back on. You just noticed that he looks like he's sewn from two different parts. Yeah, what's going on here, Dicey? What did Padar do to you? You looked into his strange eyes, or more like an eye. The second part of Dice looks like he doesn't have an eye at all. The pink one started talking, and the eye of the dice closed, which allowed you to take a better look into the eye of the pink dice. It seems he really doesn't have it. It's just a deep hole in his eye socket. Perhaps it would suit him to wear an eye patch like a pirate to look less creepy. I'm sorry for that. I shouldn't have hit you. I'm constantly arguing with myself. I hope you're feeling well. Yeah, I'm fine, I guess. But you? Me? Are you okay? Does it hurt too much? No, I'm fine, but I've been better. You both are not going to be okay soon. I try to ignore myself, but this pink and eternally correct one always bothers me. So, I will not waste extra time on you, asking you pointless questions written by smart Varai. For all the time, I've been especially ticked off to ask everyone these nonsense questions. You could have at least written a couple more new ones. Now, seriously, you have to choose who you would stay with. You could choose me, but it's a bad idea. Oh, how so dicey. We can have a lot of fun together. Shut up, Pink Me. Nobody asked you. Aw. Dice sighed heavily, but did not answer himself, so as not to prolong the conversation. I won't spare you. Although, I don't really want to talk to you at all. Choose one of the rotting bikers or that suspiciously normal one. I'm also rotten. Dice is clearly annoyed by the constant interruptions. Jeff. He may seem normal, but I'm sure he's not what he seems. Recently, he started avoiding me and trying not to cross paths with me at all. But you guys are supposed to be best friends. I thought we were childhood friends. Yeah, finally you said something to the point. Well, please, I don't need this overly cute worm lover's babysitter. This guy makes me puke. Ugh. Oh no, he started babbling again about what he didn't like. Come on, choose a biker now. I'm not babbling. I just meant it's better to choose Jeff. I will not choose Jeff. I probably should choose Jeff. Actually, let's spend some time with Dice. Let's spend some time with Dice. He doesn't look too happy about that. You chose me. Oh, yay! Thank you for choosing me. I really thought you were tired of this eternally dissatisfied and mumbling Dice. Dice gave you a look full of annoyance. You choose me, even though I told you that I didn't want to talk to you. Did you decide to show me how brave you are? If I was brave, I would have chosen Jate. Why would I even talk to you and listen to you? You're just here because I need to dilute my gang with some more normal people. You probably won't even be a biker. Well, I'll at least try to become a biker. Shut up! I didn't say you could talk yet. Oh, come on. It's good that the newbie chose you, despite the fact that you're sometimes quite annoying. Don't be mad at me, sweetie. It's true. Dice growled something to himself in response, covering his face with his hand, and sighed heavily. After that, he straightened up, raised an irritated eyebrow, and spoke to you again. Espoir, even if you become a biker, I'll make sure you'll die under the wheels of my bike. I'll crush you, like a fluffing cockroach. Boo, Dicey is being rude again. Stop bullying my food. I love fried cockroaches. Okay, I guess that one's not... I guess Dice question mark isn't all that alright. You are so... What? They're yummy and crunchy. I mean, some people do eat that. What? Oh, Espoir. It's not necessary to insult or think about how to kill the newbie. I know what you're thinking. What did I tell you about reading my mind? I'm constantly thinking about how to kill or torture someone. When you tell someone what I'm thinking, that's usually what happens. We share the same brain. I know what you're thinking anyway. That's true, but could you not talk about what I think? Or do you just really want me to kill the newbie? Well, I didn't say I didn't want it. No. Besides, I won't be able to stop you if you do what you're thinking. Ha! I thought you were like a better version of me. I hate you a little less now. Oh no, they're siding together! I'm glad you hate me less. You have to understand that I just love to make you angry, playing with you like a little toy. Ha! You are so disgusting. An improved version of me. Oh, how could you make Dice better? You would just end up making him worse. You get the feeling that if they were two people and not sewn together, they would have kissed each other a long time ago. This is my boyfriend. He has the same exact name and face as me. And they just make out. Why did I choose Dice at all? Who forced me to do this at all? Choosing him was definitely a mistake. But you can handle it. What kind of pink dice is this anyway? Man, I completely forgot about you. What the fluff did you say, a-hole? I didn't hear you. I was busy talking to my parasite. Nothing. Yeah, I didn't really want to hear from you. Speak only when you need to. Now, I have a question for you. Answer it right now and then shut the F up. Well, do you still want to be a biker? Yes? Well, yes, I guess I still want to be a biker. Hooray! I would have gladly accepted you if it weren't for that boring Dice. We can have fun together. I'll teach you to ride a bike, and we'll spend time on motorcycles in the autumn evenings. Oh, it sounds actually pretty good, and even romantic? Shh! I'm talking to a newbie, not now. No one is interested in your wet fantasies. I've saved up a lot of fantasies, especially for you personally. I can't wait to tell you everything when the newbie won't be around. Perplexity flashed across his face and immediately disappeared. Shut the fluff up. I'm not interested in it right now. Ahem. Oh, right, Espoir? Do you really want to stay here? I don't even know how to respond to this. Don't expect me to start treating you better because of your choice or something. You don't really have one. You just want to show how fluffing brave you are. You're not afraid to be with me. It annoys me even more than if you decided to leave. He growled something, irritably, and then fell silent for a while. I don't like the way you're acting. Oh no! He's got two tongues? What does that mean? Padar! He pulled you up to him, as if for a kiss. Kissy? No! No, not now! Shh! He leaned on you, and then stuck out his double, thick tongue. I don't know how to feel about this. The stitches on the tongue immediately burst, giving two different tongues complete freedom of action. Oh. Hey, what are you... The first thing he did was lick your chin, tasting you. No, don't lick my face again! Ew. What a disgusting taste. Thank you for at least not being Varai. Sliding his tongues around your neck from both sides like poison ivy. Ugh! They squeezed your throat weakly, but the flow of breathing was not disrupted. Carol, what? The tongues, in a moment, tightly squeezed your neck like a belt. By his actions, Dice makes it clear that you shouldn't have asked this question. Trying not to panic, you made fruitless attempts to free yourself. You felt creepy. You were afraid that you would be strangled in such a non-standard way. You were absolutely powerless and at the mercy of this madman, or madmen. Dice and Dice? But Dice laughed, and instantly the tongues let go of your neck. Now you were covered in saliva. You're still too scared to be squeamish. Aha! I love scaring you that way. You look cute. Pink one would say that. Apparently, I think I've already fallen under his influence. What I did was not only my idea, but also the idea of pink dice. Hey, butthole, you've been silent for a long time. Say something. Come on, cheer us up. Hey, do you miss me so much when I'm not talking, Dice? No, I'm just very bored. Well, then let the newbie talk. No. Classic Dice. This isn't as bad as I thought it would be. I mean, having 2 dices. Well, I really just wanted to have some fun and lick our newbie's face. Now the newbie will stay with me. Otherwise, I wasted my saliva and stained my tongue in vain. I'm talking to you, Espoir. I will do whatever I wish with you. I'm not even just scaring you. Friends forever. This forever will not last long for the newbie. You looked at him, while he looked at you with his one eye, making him lick his lips, as if you were a piece of meat more than a biker. It made you shudder, making you feel something new towards him. Suddenly, you began to be afraid of him. You looked completely tired. Apparently, you began to regret that you decided to stay alone with the restless dice. You will obey my orders without question. Even if I want you to jump under the wheels of my bike. You have no idea how many plans I have for you. No, I won't touch you, but the thought of it only makes me more excited. What was that about? Let's kiss already? Let's kiss already. It's time for kisses. I don't think I want your kind of kisses, Mr. Two Tongues. What did Pink Dice just whisper? It's so uncomfortable listening to 2 people at the same time when one interrupts the other. Let's go back to Dice and his threats. But don't worry, we have a little more time to make some of my accumulated dreams come true. Stay close to me, and don't talk to anyone else. Not even Pink Me. Why not me? We're going to have so much fun together. Let's merge in a tight embrace. Yes, let's hug. They're working together. I'll show you a biker hug. Oh, it's so cute that you love hugs. No. I don't like such tenderness. Don't make me laugh. You're mighty mean. Mean, mean, mean. What, then, is a biker hug? Is it when you show how much you value your companion through a strong hug? What? No, wrong. It's when you squeeze the body of someone you hug as hard as you can. Well, that would be a bear hug, sir. Usually I squeeze so hard that I can break someone's ribs. Most often Varai gets into my arms. Aw, he is so happy to be touched by anyone. How cute. I don't see anything cute about it, a-hole. I can't stand all this tenderness. I hug him to crush him. To hurt him. It calms me down, and it doesn't bother me for a long time afterwards. But you still hug me tight before you do it. He likes it. Never mind. Just shut. Why didn't you stop me at all when I was playfully trying to strangle our newbie? Since you're so sweet and kind, why didn't you stop me? Huh? I was curious what you would do. In any case, I have no control over your body. If I had, I would beat you saying, "Aha, silly Dice, why are you beating yourself?" We would just kill each other. I would do that too. I hate you so much that I would strangle you if I could. Try it, but it seems that we too will like it, especially you. Ah, you bastard! Guys, are you having a moment? Would you like me to leave? I could just leave. Dice was swearing at himself so fiercely without paying attention to you that you even thought about running away. This is your chance. You carefully stepped away from him and were about to leave. You don't know where, anywhere, just to get away from him. Yeah, I'm gonna turn in my biker pass and, maybe not. Maybe oh no. He noticed it. You stumble back as Dice gets closer to you, making you uncomfortable. You were already bearing the rude insults he was spitting at you. You didn't want to know what else he was gonna do. As you step back, Dice laughs with a mocking tone. Are you thinking about running? Because it isn't gonna go the way you want it to, dumb butt. You'd be dead if I wanted you to be. And, well, we're starting to get to that point. Dice walks closer to you, slowly covering the distance you made earlier. He steps right in front of your face, sizing you up as you just stare at him back. He suddenly jolts his body forward, startling you as you fall down straight on your butt. He hysterically laughs as you groan from the little impact. It wasn't a hard fall, but your legs and butt slightly stung. Oh, you're so fluffing stupid. I'm surprised you've even made it to this point. I'm surprised you even fell for that at all. I mean, Dice isn't the sharpest spike on the jacket. Dice suddenly jerks his head, snarling at the comment. Did I just insult myself? It looks like he wasn't a fan of the input, but he rolled his eye and acted like he didn't say a word. You stayed on the ground, staring at him as he regained his composure. Though your stomach dropped once his cold eye fell upon you again, making you worry. The F are you staring at? You think that was funny or something? 'Cause nobody is effing laughing. I'm scaring myself with my own voice acting. You shake your head, quickly, trying to reassure him that you didn't think it was funny. He suddenly started laughing, surprising and confusing you. You want to know what's really funny? The way Dice gets so scrunched up over the littlest of things. Shut up! Stupid you're such a poser. Pathetic, picking on one more word, and I'm fluffing ending you. Dice, I don't think that's gonna work the way you think that's gonna work. Shut the heck up! You flinch at the violent display of yelling, scooting back just a bit. You don't know why the other half suddenly started making fun of Dice, but you kind of wished he would stop. Dice seemed to be getting more angry and violent too quickly, making you fear you'll be the person he'll take it out on. You should really stop yelling and control your voice. You're scaring the newbie over there. Dice turns to you and glares, baring his teeth at you. Oh, I'm scaring you? Well, you fluffing should be. You're staring at me like I'm some sort of freak. It's ticking me off. I mean, you get ticked off at everything. I'm not surprised you're getting ticked off now. Tempered fluff. Uh-oh. Your body tenses up as Dice pauses for a moment. A long moment. You can feel the thick tension in the air, suffocating you as he just stands there. You jump as he suddenly and violently moves. He grabs his own neck and starts choking himself. Dice? You couldn't believe what you were watching. It was surreal. He thrashed himself around and grabbed onto his own neck so tight that the veins were popping up. Uh-oh. He was snarling and yelling, while the other half of his sick face smirked and giggled, making you cringe. Fluff, not so tight now. We might pass out. Shut the heck up! You annoying Fluff. I've had enough. Enough of you, enough of everybody. He kept throwing himself around, his hands never letting go of his neck. If anything, their grip was getting tighter. They both started choking and gasping, but that didn't waver the grip Dice had on himself. The whole time it looked like night and day. Dice was still screaming, yelling, cursing at the other half, while the other half looked like he enjoyed the whole thing. He moaned and whined into the grasp, like he wanted this, like he meant for this to happen. Maybe they've done this before. You wouldn't put it past them, especially with the temper on Dice and the mouth on the other half. Die, die, die! You stupid fluff! I want to cut you off. Watch the stitches rip off your ugly face. Yeah, oh, you're so cruel to me. Such a meanie. Spit starts to drool at the side of the other's mouth, making it drip down onto Dice's hands. His face was turning red, but not like a dying red, more like a blushing red. You're enjoying this, aren't you? You could tell the other half was clearly enjoying every second of it, which only made Dice madder. As his grip kept getting tighter and tighter, you could tell he was getting woozy. It seemed like his choking methods had only hurt him and not the person he was trying to choke. You need to be careful. My vision is blacking out. Oh, wait, never mind. I'm always like that. You fluffing parasite! I'll rip your tongue out next. Fluffing, smash your face in. Oh, I can only wish. Though, you're starting to hurt yourself, Dicey. How about you stop trying to play the big bad wolf and calm down? Unless you really want to show me how annoying I am. Dice snarls again, making the other half bite their lip in what seems to be anticipation. At this rate, you thought Dice was going to pass out. His neck looked like it was already bruising, and his gasping and choking made the picture complete. You were getting a little worried, for yourself and Dice. On one hand, if he dropped from the lack of oxygen, you could completely leave unharmed, and on the other hand, well, yeah, there really isn't a downside if he dropped. Didn't you really like standing here idly watching them? You thought about whether you should somehow intervene or say anything, since you felt I know the word, I just can't read for a second.
Superfluous.
I'm kind of a third wheel here. You're wondering if you should do something. You know what, well, first, I'm going to save my game. I kind of want to just watch. You'd better stay where you are and watch. Dices will figure it out for themselves, right? Fellas? Dice's face turned purple from rage and a clear lack of oxygen. He continued to swear at his pink version while you stood awkwardly on the sidelines. Pink Dice continued to mock him, calling him cute words, which is why Dice stopped strangling himself, and without any break for that to catch his breath, he began to beat himself. Unfortunately, this didn't help him in any way. It didn't stop Pink Dice in any way, since no part of the dice feels pain. Dice could beat himself unconscious, but it wouldn't leave a single bruise on him. You thought it would last forever. Pink Dice finally fell silent. The other Dice strangled himself for some time before realizing that the pink one was no longer reacting. Are you finished with Pink you? Dice put his hands on his knees and gasped furiously. He was taking more and more air into his lungs with each breath. It took him a long time to regain even breathing. Dice straightened up, rubbed his neck, and turned it from side to side. He tried to talk to you, but he hasn't quite caught his breath yet. Hey, Carol? How are you feeling?
I'm fine. I don't know why you even asked me this.
You've been strangling yourself for a very long time. I'm just worried because you could probably die.
It doesn't hurt. I don't feel any pain. I coped with other trials of my life better, with more serious quarrels with him. I'm sorry you had to see this. Pink is so annoying. He talks nonsense, ticks me off, and shames me in front of others. It'd be better if he stayed in my head. He could fluff my brain all he wanted,
but at least it wouldn't happen in front of everyone. Now it seems he's calmed down for a while. He probably played enough and he left me alone. Or maybe he's just passed out. What a weakling. I'm not surprised. Do you want to ask me a question? I mean, I haven't given you a chance to ask a question yet. We'll talk a little more before I choose your fate. Like, I'll think about whether to kill you or something else. I don't feel like wasting meat, but I feel a little sorry for you. Okay. I'll think about what to ask you. I'm kind of wondering what happened to your eye, fam. I'm curious, what happened to the eye on your pink side? Are you in pain? Dice felt a little disgusted by your question. He clearly doesn't like your interest in his eye hole. You were interested in my eye hole in the last game. What's wrong with my eye, you ask? Such a strange question. You're just like the grossest man, Varai. Hey. But okay, I'll answer your stupid question. What do you think? It's just not there, you moron. Pink's eye was torn out. And no, it doesn't hurt me. It feels a little unpleasant, but I mostly don't care. Soon I'll probably just buy myself an eye patch so that no one looks there. How did this even happen? I was gonna tell you anyway, but surprisingly, I'm not mad at this question. I don't really like to remember it. I feel a little humiliated. But still, scars adorn a man, if only the absence of an eye can be called a scar. At least some flaw in my almost perfect face. Well, the story is short, simple, banal to the point of originality. It's in fact that Pink infuriates not only me, but also other bikers from opposing gangs. Actually, I have no idea if there are many other bikers left here now. They appeared earlier, but immediately disappeared somewhere. Perhaps they were afraid of the mutilated oldster or the corpse-looking Varai. They're now appearing less and less, which is why we have almost no one to compete with, and we have nothing to do. Idleness annoys me. I've been rereading the book called Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance for many, many times. So, as soon as I saw some bikers hanging around the neighborhood, I immediately offered them to compete. It doesn't even matter how to compete, race or just fist fighting. They didn't look as ugly as us. One of them is just fat and has even redder eyes than Varai had when they were irritated. I think I've seen him before. I know his gang. These are the same guys who kidnapped Varai earlier. And Jeff had a conflict with the gang since he ate one guy from there, but, we're not gonna talk about that? Dice, we're not gonna talk about how Jeff ate somebody? Let's not talk about it. I had to think about it. I was competing with the same guy. Let's assume that I did it as revenge or something like that. I got into a fight with him, since there was no bike with him. Despite him being overweight and being on drugs, he fought well. But Pink Dice got on his nerves with his screams. Yeah, he helped me so much. Right, during the fight, that fat goodness and freak decided to smoke. He breathed pink smoke on me and... I felt so sick that I lost consciousness, and I woke up from the unpleasant sensation of blood running down my face. The bastard cut out my eye. Yes, this eye is on the pink part of me, but this is still my eye. I don't know why I felt so bad during the fight. I've never felt anything like this. What does he even need your eye for? Well, I can assume that he eventually used it as payment for his stuff that he takes. Like, I know a person who accepts an alternative payment as an eye. I took anabolics from this man. I saw a bunch of eyes in his cans of formalin. Ew. That's all, I guess. You can call me a weakling. My life didn't get any worse after that. I'll definitely rip open the pig's belly with my teeth. I've told you too much, but it must have been interesting for you to listen to it. Now you're taking my story to your grave. Hey, Espoir. You know, you're not that bad. You don't really tick me off. But I don't want to take you into the gang, or even keep you alive. Hey! What do you mean by this? I know you're not from here. You don't know where to go. So let me kill you gently, otherwise you'll be eaten by the others. Maybe it's not necessary to do this? Can we talk about this? I could just leave. Padar! It'll hurt you more if you resist. Eep! You step back, not understanding why Dice suddenly wants to kill you. Sure, the world is dangerous, but him killing you doesn't solve anything. Dice copied your footsteps, gaining on you as he sped up. I said it'll hurt more if you resist. I don't wanna, but I have to. Dice suddenly grabs onto your arm, stopping you in your tracks. The grip isn't tight, but you're definitely not getting out of it anytime soon. You pull away from Dice, fearing the worst, as the other hand comes up around your neck. The touch is surprisingly gentle as you look up at him. He looks you in the eyes, sadly, and rubs your neck gingerly, almost like he's apologizing. Aww. You don't know exactly what he's apologizing for just yet. He hasn't really done anything. Though you put the pieces together once he held onto your neck tighter and swung his head back. Fluff, hold on, wait! Your vision went dark as an ache grew inside your brain. You're definitely going to feel that when you wake up. If you wake up. You could feel something. Uh-oh. Something slimy and wet as you slowly came back into consciousness. You could feel the warmth of it as it slid around your face and throat. Better not be your double tongues. It almost feels like something is licking you. You were afraid to open your eyes, but you also wanted to know what type of danger you were in. It's not every day that you get knocked out and wake up to this sensation. You groan softly as the pain from the collision sinks in. Your head is killing you, but apparently someone finds that funny. You hear a cruel laughter above you, and that's what triggered you to open your eyes. Dice, of course it was him. He was the one that knocked you out anyways. But his tongue was licking you. Stop licking me, sir. Even after you open your eyes, he didn't let up. Oh no! His tongue kept dragging across your face and throat, savoring your taste. You wanted to get up and stop him, but you felt like that wouldn't end well. He seems very unstable, and getting on the wrong side of him could mean a very bad end for you. Why are you— Shut up! I wouldn't want you to die before I get the pleasure of torturing you, would I? You instantly shushed when he said that. He sounded stern, but something else hinted in his voice. I honestly didn't expect you to wake up yet, but that's okay. Hopefully it doesn't ruin anything. You gasped softly as his lips suddenly captured yours. It was a strange sensation that made your stomach do flips. You were wondering why in the heck he was even doing this. Your thoughts were cut off as the kiss got suddenly faster and rougher. His hands held your head in place, making his nails dig into your skull. It wasn't all that pleasant, but at least he isn't tearing into you. He hummed slightly as he started licking your lips like some sort of animal. It was a nice feeling. Says you. At first, but then he suddenly bit into them, making you jump. He stopped you from completely getting up, still having the grip on your head. His sharp teeth bit into your lip, making you whine as your head digs into themselves. He was rough and ruthless as he kept biting parts of your lip and cheek, sometimes leaving marks and sometimes breaking the skin. Little streams of blood went down your face, but it wasn't torture. It was like little nips here and there, but they stung afterwards. Dice managed to lick up the little streams that went down your face. You don't know if you should feel disgusted or grateful, but did that really matter in this case? Dice! Quit it! Didn't I say to be quiet? I can and will shut you up if I have to, but I'm feeling nice today. His manner of speech was more like Pink Dice. You couldn't figure out if it was him. Although it doesn't look like what a good Dice would do. Maybe it's two of them acting together. Oh, they're Collaborating. You gasped as Dice's tongue suddenly ran against your lips. You couldn't tell if he was trying to protrude into your mouth or just lick it. The other half of his tongue licked under your eyelid, threatening his saliva to the exposure of your eye. Your other eye was struggling to stay open, as Dice's empty one felt like it was staring at you. The feeling made something in your stomach drop. It was so weird, wet, warm, but it oddly felt intimate? Dice's tongue roughly started pushing up against your lips, wanting access. You wanted to fight, to deny him, but instead you opened your mouth, letting him in. The feeling was suffocating. You've got two tongues, sir. It made your skin crawl as his tongue slid down your throat. You could feel your throat tightening as it was a struggle to swallow all of the new saliva that was coming down. Dice chuckled as your eyes watered, but he took that opportunity to do something cruel. His other half of his tongue quickly wrapped around your eyeball. Hey now! Didn't we talk about this from last time? Making you choke and now struggle. Both of your eyes shot up to stop him, but he quickly pinned you down, growling as he did. His tongue twisted around your eye, poking and prodding it, slowly pushing behind it. You screamed and groaned, but his tongue was gagging you. As you struggled more, it felt like his tongue went deeper and deeper. You were trapped under him. Spit started pooling out of your mouth as it was getting harder to swallow. His tongue was thick and wriggled around, taking in your warmth. Dice smirked above you as he drank in your sight. It was intoxicating, but only for him. You felt weak, used, and was on the verge of sobbing. But you couldn't help that feeling in your gut. It was hot, but also felt sickening. It only got worse as Dice's tongue suddenly started coiling. You can coil your tongue? It was like a thick piece of metal was lodged into your throat. You suddenly couldn't breathe. Well, gagged on a tongue. That's a new one. That's a new one for the books. That's... Your panic was already kicking in, but now it was working overtime. You thrashed your head and even banged it on the ground as you desperately tried to get air. One of Dice's hands came in and wrapped itself around your throat, feeling his massive tongue inside. Is someone struggling? I know you can do better than that. I'm not even ripping your throat out. You struggled even harder as his hand pressed against your throat, making the tongue in your eye push. Keep your tongue away from my eyeballs, sir! It felt like it was about to come out of the socket. It was torture. You kicked your feet, tried to push away, but nothing worked. Air was tight, eyes were blacking out, body was going limp. You gurgled out soft pleads that weren't answered as you slowly drifted away. You could still feel the warmth of his tongue and the excruciating ripping out of your eye as you drowned in his spit. You fluffed up. Well, fine. Red ending. Kiss of death. Gosh darn it, Padar. Alright, what if I go all the way back and say, no, I don't want to be a biker. Actually, this sounds cruddy and I don't want to be here. Bye! You're not sure if you want to stay with him anymore, but will your answer change the situation in any way at all? You remember many of your deaths at his hands, and being with him will surely lead you to the same result. Yet you decide to answer, while he still gives you such a chance to leave. I've already changed my mind. Oh? Have you? You probably want to leave, right? Ha! You probably don't even know where to go. You'll get lost and other bikers will devour you. These dirty, hungry, salivating savages. Don't you like being here with me? You're so poor and unhappy. I offend you. I don't let you talk. That's how it should be. I'm not here for your fun. He smiled sadistically and patted you on the top of your head. I'm sorry. You're not going anywhere now. This choice meant nothing. Hey, can you say something? I give you the right to speak. You're just like my pet right now. I give you the right to say something, just like a dog is given the right to bark. Dice patted you on the head again. It was pretty rough. He obviously didn't do it for the purpose of pleasing you. You liked the feel of his latex shiny glove on your head. You even felt a little relaxed by it. You didn't have time to do it completely, because Dice dug his nails into your head through the gloves. Ow! As if he had long, sharp claws under them. If he didn't have gloves, he probably would have hurt your head very badly, but you were a little lucky. But that didn't change the fact that you were in pain. Why did Dice do that? You wanted to remove Dice's hand from your head, but for some reason you were afraid that it would make it worse. Ow! Dice, stop it! There's no need for senseless violence. Senseless violence, you say? I'm your boss, and you don't even show me the proper respect. Why are you even doing this? I told you to answer. Answer me now. Oh, okay, fine. Well, I chose you myself, so okay. I guess that this choice meant nothing. I would like to leave you, but now you won't let me go anywhere. Great, that's better. Dice nodded approvingly, and his hand was no longer on your head. You grabbed your head. You didn't feel the wounds there. Dice didn't hurt you much. He growled something irritably, and then fell silent for a while. I don't like the way you're acting. Ah, no. Okay, last time I just watched. I just let him figure it out. What if I interfere? Like, hey guys, maybe you shouldn't be choking yourself. Though, despite your best judgment, you got up and helped. You went over quickly and grabbed onto Dice's arms, trying to yank them off of him and his other half. It was a real struggle. You almost got smacked in the face twice and almost fell back on your butt, but you managed. Finally, he let go, taking big breaths of air as he glared at you. The other side of him kept chuckling and making fun of his attempts at choking. The other side of him even thanked you, commending you by showing off how weak Dice really is. Oh, I'm so sorry. That must have been so embarrassing for you. You had to touch this worm who can't control his own body. Fluff up! You're the one feeding off of me, you little parasite. Parasite? Oh. You hear that? I'm a little parasite now. You're funny. At least you're good for something. Now, Dice definitely didn't like that. He snarled loudly, then snapped his neck again, looking at you. After he got a couple more breaths in, he stood tall and bared his teeth again. You only started to step back once he started stepping forward. Soon, your steps turned into paces, and he was getting faster and faster, making you trip, but not falling. Dice caught you by the collar, but you're not sure you should be thanking him just yet. Dice caught you, not to save you, but to do something much worse. Anything worse than what you just finished doing to me. You shouldn't have interfered. It's none of your fluffing business. It would be better if you just stood aside. I love the little hearts in your hair, Dice. Dice put his hands on your shoulders. Dice? After he wrapped both hands around your head, you froze, not knowing what he was going to do. I don't know what you're going to do, but I have a feeling that I'm not going to enjoy it. You weren't sure if you were scared or not. With all his strength and grip, he turned your head sharply and quickly. Oh. It was a sudden movement. You didn't even have time to react in any way or strain the muscles in your neck so that this wouldn't happen. Eep! Your neck gave in and instantly broke. As soon as the neck broke, the head went limp and hung to one side. It was all over now. Dice gave you an instant death. That's probably the nicest thing Dice has done to me in these games. After losing consciousness, permanent brain death comes a few minutes later. A few minutes? The heart has stopped beating and is just quivering in place, expanding its last remaining energy as it vainly attempts to beat without instruction from the brain. Ah, it was a piece of cake. Rude, but oddly kind. Red ending. broken neck. I asked about his eye. Ask about Pink Dice. What's Pink Dice doing here? I want to know who is Pink. How did he appear? You want to know more about Pink, you say? I don't really like this question, but okay, I'll tell you. I understand how curious it can be to see my new face consisting of two. To be honest, I still don't really understand how it works. Pink appeared in my head as the consequences of the anabolics I took. Why do you need anabolics? Are you a drug addict? Shh! Don't ask another question. Okay, sorry. I'm just curious. Editor me, what are anabolics? Oh, okay. He looked a little different than he looks now, you know. He was completely naked, with white skin and snow-white teeth. Only pink nipples and painted lips stood out. I don't know why. It was so... ew. Ugh. He tormented me for an endless amount of time, haunted me in dreams. He always melted like a candy. Everything that flowed from him soaked into me, and thus he merged with my body in dreams. I felt like I was literally burning. Either he bit into my skin or flesh, or into the very inside. He ate through the slippery organs, tearing out my pieces of meat. He punished me this way for my actions that I had committed. He tried to make me kind by aggressively hammering kindness into me. At some point, my nightmares stopped, and I was very happy. It should have just been side effects. It didn't matter to me what was going on in my head. Only my body was important. It was important to build muscle mass, gradual loss of sensitivity to pain. No one is interested in your brain worms, even if they fell out. Only Varai would like them. Huh, that's what Jate would say. Maybe I miss his puns a little. I have to keep telling. But I was wrong about him. I just went to bed and woke up to a loud cry of this parasite that took up a place in my body. He wished me good morning. I still haven't seen myself in the mirror. I just roughly understood that my face doesn't look very good, but my body is sewn together. And it seems that some more single organs of my body have duplicates. Ugh. Can you imagine what that's like? I'm not sure. Can't even strain your brain and imagine a little? Do you only have a thread in your brain that holds your ears so that they don't fall? Ugh. Maybe I'm still living my nightmare, and your appearance here is also torture. I'm not torturing you. I basically just listened to everything you said. Yes, you're probably right, but you're a little bit annoying. Oh, you're not even mad at me. Amazing. One more sentence like that, and I'll hit you. No, don't hit me. He swung at you to show the seriousness of his intentions, while having complete indifference on his face. You expected to get hit, and it made you cringe and cover your face with your hands. Haha, right decision. But it would be better if you hit me back in the jaw. It would be more interesting that way, even if your blow would be like a stroke for me. Now, I'll keep talking, and you keep quiet. You breathed a sigh of relief and took your hands away from your face, and began to listen to him attentively without being distracted. Who knows? Maybe he would check how carefully you were listening and arrange a survey for you as before. Oh yeah. Ugh. Just listen. I've been thinking for a long time about where it came from. He probably appeared for a reason, and has always lived deep inside me. He just needed an excuse to wake up, and he found it. An excuse in the form of my relaxed brain after using anabolics. Sooner or later, it'll consume me completely. I'll turn pink. It's a matter of time. But I'll fight him to the end so that it doesn't happen so soon. I've told you too much, but it must have been interesting for you to listen to it. Now you're taking my story to your grave. What? Wait! Dice, wait! Wait, Dice! Your eyes turned to his face. You know what really ticks me off? Huh? You. It's you. What did I do? You should have never been accepted. I realize my mistake now. You scowled with confusion. You didn't really get what he meant. You looked at his twitching hands. You were starting to get worried. Whatever you're gonna do, don't do it. He was staring deep into your soul, expecting some sort of reaction. You just stood there, waiting for him to continue. Everything was better before you came along. He started coming closer to you. You need to go. All right, I'm just gonna leave. You don't have to do anything more. I'm just gonna go. Before you could even say anything, you were plastered to the cold, hard ground. He was on top of you, landing punches one right after the other. Ow! 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 Stop! You tried your best to defend your face, but it was all hopeless. You could feel the tiny bloodstream slowly dripping from your skin. Your senses were slowly beginning to drift away. Dice! Shut your fluffing mouth! You don't fluffing respect me! Can you hear me? I'm not a dice for you. I'm your boss. Pink may not be your boss, but I am. Do you want some kind of good attitude towards yourself after that? You're a fluffing coward and a weakling. Protect yourself, a-hole. Show me how brave you are. You couldn't do that. He's too strong for you. It feels like he's hitting harder than you remember. It's as if the power of two men is concentrated in him. With a strong hit to your nose, you were at your limit already. Blood had blurred your vision, but you could see Dice getting up on his feet. You took a long breath, thinking he had finally decided to let you go. That was until his boot came straight to your head, and everything went black. Ah! Why you crush my little skull? Motor noises scratched at your brain. Uh-oh. Your eyelids were heavy. It was hard to focus on where you were. You could feel something cold tugging at your neck, arms, and legs. Wake up! I'm getting bored. Oh no! Your eyes slowly parted. You could faintly see a shadow. You looked up to meet his gaze. He was smirking devilishly. You sensed danger, and you were right in the middle of it. His crazed stare told you that you weren't going to make it out of here alive. When have I ever with you, Dice? Come on, you're just as bad as Strayed. You looked around. Your ankles were chained to Carol's motorbike. Oh, okay. That's what we're doing. Okay. Your eyes sprung behind you. You saw that your arms were tied to a thick street light pole. Okay, Dice. Okay, this is creative. I applaud your creativity. This is definitely creative. Your breaths began to shake, and your body trembled like crazy. You want to hope that Dice won't do it. He won't ride his bike in the breeze while you are chained to him, but for some reason, you're counting on the worst. No, Dice, please, just begging ain't gonna save you. Be quiet. Now you'll see my beautiful bike in action. You're just another pathetic thing that's going to die here under the wheels. You're not in the best condition, but at least you can try to get out at the last minute while Dice is distracted by verbally humiliating you. What a dubious idea, but there's no other choice. And now, I'm gonna turn your head into a red, pink, bloody mess. If there's any brains in your head at all. You tried to gather all of your strength into a fist to break or slip out of this fluffing chain. Your actions didn't have any effect. Dice didn't even notice you trying to get out. Dice slowly sat on his bike and stretched his hands. He looked awfully calm for someone who was about to tear a human apart. You kept mumbling and asking him to stop. Some part in you still thought you could get out of this mess. However, you realized it was too late with the wrenched pain spreading among your bones. You let out the loudest scream you have ever had in your life. Your hands clung onto the chains with all the strength you had in your body. Your limbs were going crazy, trying to free themselves from the thick chains. You weren't going to give up, even though it was useless. If you die without trying, then you are a coward. You couldn't fight against the force that this gosh darn motor had. You looked at your exposed stomach. You could see small tears forming at the surface. Blood gushed from your nearly detached guts. You felt the cold air sway against your insides. How dare you? How dare you? How absolutely rude. How dare you take my leggy poos? Dice, what am I supposed to do without my precious gams? Well, I guess I don't have to worry about leg day anymore. Struggling was getting hard to continue. It only made your death slower and more agonizing after all. Your grip softened. You let your muscles relax and let Dice have his pleasure. Your intestines laying on concrete was the last thing you saw before your eyes closed to never open again. Even after that, Dice didn't leave you alone and continued to delight with you on his wheels. Dice, laughing, crushed your skull into mush with a wheel, as he promised. Okay, well, at least you made good on your promise, Dicey Poo. To your great regret, you couldn't see it. No kidding, Padar. Red ending, death under wheels. Is there any way this can go? Not in the way that ends in my death.